Welcome to Women's Rugby Rundown 224 for November 10th through the 16th. This week, South Africa defended their African Sevens title, and the LA 2028 Olympic schedule was finalized. New Zealand began the search for a new Black Ferns head coach, and Morocco is establishing its first national women's rugby team, along with Scotland announcing increased investment. In league action, Stirling County and Watsonians confirmed their place in the Arnold Clark Women's Premiership Grand Final, while several teams clinched titles at their USA Club Union Championships in the Midwest, NERFU, and Empire Unions. I'm Wendy, here to bring you the latest in women's rugby news. This is your Women's Rugby Rundown, and we're about to kick off. Let's get into Sevens news. South Africa successfully defended their Rugby Africa Women's Sevens Cup title in Nairobi. The team was completely dominant, securing crucial qualification for the World Rugby Sevens Division 3 after not conceding a single point throughout the entire 2 days. This stellar performance culminated in a 22-0 final victory over host Kenya, while Uganda placed third. The LA 2028 Olympics have finalized their Rugby Sevens schedule for Carson Stadium. The women's tournament will run from July 12th to the 15th, immediately followed by the men's competition from July 16th to the 18th. Both the women's bronze and gold medal matches will take place on July 15th, while the men's bronze and gold medal matches are set for the closing day, July 18th. Now over to 15's news. New Zealand has begun the search for a new Black Ferns head coach following a program review after the 2025 Rugby World Cup. Alan Bunting, the current director of performance, will conclude his tenure and will not seek the head coach role again. New Zealand aims to appoint a new leader by Christmas 2025 to guide the Black Ferns throughout the upcoming 4-year cycle. Morocco is committing to the establishment of its first national women's rugby team across all age categories for both 15s and 7s formats. The Royal Moroccan Rugby Federation held a talent search gathering from November 7th to the 9th in France, identifying 40 high-level players. This focus initiative seeks to develop the necessary expertise to join international competitions like the Africa Cup. Scottish Rugby announced increased investment in the women's game by confirming financial support for 35 female players for the 25-26 season, an increase from 32 players the previous year. This commitment marks the start of the new 2029 Rugby World Cup performance cycle. The support ensures players can train in their local environments, which include the PWR French Elite 1 and the centralized Celtic Challenge program. We have to take a moment here, though, because Scotland and the changes in New Zealand, it's just not going well. It has a nice, buffer around it that this is great. It's increased investment. It's an amazing new calendar. But the fact is it's happening in a vacuum. Players are not finding out until press releases happen. That's in New Zealand. Or in the case of Scotland, World Cup players were competing. They're not going to get a contract. And it's just really difficult. The communication with the players and with the player union countries that they have those has got to get better. Hong Kong kicked off their Three Nations Cup with a narrow 12-10 victory over host Germany in Heidelberg. The match was a tightly contested affair, remaining scoreless at halftime. Hong Kong secured the 2-point win after scoring and converting the decisive try late in the second half, marking a crucial winning start for the young squad in the international series. Up next in this Three Nations Cup, Germany will see Belgium on November 19th, while Hong Kong will face Belgium on November 22nd. South Africa assembled for a week-long alignment camp in the Western Cape. Head coach Swys de Bruin invited a 42-player squad that skillfully mixes World Cup veterans with emerging talent. Several standout players from recent development tournaments were invited, signaling the success of new national player pathways. Now on to domestic and club news. The Arnold Clark Women's Premiership Grand Final on December 13th is set after Stirling County confirmed first place and the home final by defeating Christopherson 62-26. Watsonians clinched the second and final grand final spot by securing a 65-22 bonus point victory over Heroots. Round 4 of the PWR delivered a flurry of tries and major movements in the standings. Saracens overwhelmed Leicester in a massive 79-5 victory, running in 13 tries. Meanwhile, reigning champions Gloucester Hartpury extended their unbeaten start to the season by defeating Sale 40-24. Trailfinders secured back-to-back home wins by beating Bristol 45-19. Exeter held off a late surge from Harlequins to claim a 26-19 victory at Sandy Park, rounding a dominant weekend for the league's top sides. Round 6 of the Nigeria AIL division saw home teams claim bonus point victories across the board. UL Bohemian won the top-of-the-table clash, defeating Galwegians 36-24, while Old Belvedere dominated Ballincog 65-7. Round 5 featured a major upset as the Vancouver Thunderbirds dealt a big loss to previously dominant winners West Shore, defeating them 38-20. Castaway Wanderers delivered a strong performance as well, shutting out Mariloma 29-0. Round 6 of the Iberdrola confirmed El Salvador as the undisputed leader, maintaining a perfect 6-0 record by defeating Getxo 27-17. The mid-table battle tightened as Cocos secured a hard-fought 18-12 road victory against Krat Kurunya, vaulting them into third place. The USA Club competition saw decisive results across 3 major geographic unions, with winners advancing to the super regional tournaments. Chicago North Shore and Milwaukee Silla advanced from the Midwest, while Providence and Portland secured titles in NERFU. New Haven and Union claimed the Division II and 3 championships in the Empire Union. Next up for these teams are the Super Regionals. The Northern and Atlantic Super Regionals are May 2nd and 3rd, 2026. Following South Africa's successful World Cup qualification and their reaching a quarterfinal, South Africa Rugby is accelerating plans to professionalize the women's game with a new Women's Super League. This fully professional league is expected to launch in mid-2026, featuring central contracts for up to 150 players, which will establish a new pathway for talent. This would be the most contracted players out of anyone, including England, who has a lot. This would be massive for South Africa and a huge statement ahead of the 2029 Rugby World Cup. That does it for us this week. Of course, there's more news on our site at yscrugby.com. Never miss one of our episodes. Women's Rugby Rundown is available anywhere you get your podcasts from.